What is up guys, Dreadful here, and in today's video we are going to be having a overlook on all of the new kits for the identities and also Sinclair's E.G.O. Without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so we're going to have a look at, obviously, Ryoshu here, with her Solitude, which also ties in with the passive, where it uses her skill 1 if enemy has less than a certain amount of SP or is staggered. And then if she has no bullets left, she'll use her other skill 1 and will consume SP in order to reload. And then we have Solitude as the main mechanic here. Essentially, its panic effect is that if you're low morale, you gain sinking count, and then panic, you gain more sinking count. Basically, it allows you to take more gloom damage, or well, from gloom skills, and then obviously changes it to the panic effect of Solitude, sinking count, and then it'll lose the stack, conditional to certain enemies that have SP but cannot change their panic type. And then Petals, which gives her offense level, and then Faint Aroma, which increases if she takes sinking damage, and then upon Tremor Burst, it'll apply a Faint Aroma to other allies, and at the maximum stacks, it'll trigger Tremor and Tremor Burst on self. Then it takes Gloom damage equal to sinking on self and lose all Faint Aroma. Cannot gain Faint Aroma for the rest of this turn. If the unit is killed, then the Faint Aroma goes to other allies. Then Unwithering Flower, which ties into the petals. So basically, how it'll work is, enemy takes sinking damage, Faint Aroma inflicted, and Tremor Burst, regardless of the unit. And then at a certain amount of petals, she'll be able to use her enhanced skill 3. It deals more damage against staggered targets based on faint Aroma, and if she lost some HP this turn, she'll heal HP and SP, and then this one is basically just... Her support passive is basically ally with fast speed that inflicts sinking potency count or unique sinking. It'll go ahead and inflict Tremor and Tremor Burst then, and then reduce the target's Tremor count. Now moving on to her skills, obviously, let's first look at the Evade, which gives her Petals, but it also gives her Fragile and Attack power up. For skill 1 here, which we saw, this skill 1 and her other skill 1 gives, our follow-up attacks. Her enhanced skill 1's unclutchable. It makes her spend some bullets and it gives her, and then inflicts some sinking count and tremor. Obviously, coin power for every X on target. This is pretty standard stuff. And it's the same thing with skill 2 and then eventually skill 3, but for now, let's just go to skill 2. She'll spend a bullet, or just one bullet here, and then it's your usual sinking, faint aroma, and then 2 tremor counts. And then we have full bloom, which is her skill 3, which is a gloom skill. Inflict faint aroma, sinking, faint aroma, tremor, and then triggers tremor burst, and then reduce target's tremor count. And then it'll deal some gloom damage equal to the sinking on target. And then obviously it'll gain some coin power depending on how much tremor and plus sinking is on the target, and then obviously faint aroma also comes into play. But the main one is this enhanced skill 3, which is unclashable, and it cannot be reused with Rusty Coin. So it's pretty much similar to her N-Corp setup. And it's also AoE, which, like I said, is the same thing with her N-Corp ID as well. And then essentially it'll gain some final power depending on how many faint aroma is on all targets. And that's a stack, and then once it ends, it'll lose petals. inflict faint aroma, inflict sinking, inflict tremor, and then tremor burst. So basically, it's just the same thing as her skill, normal skill 3, so nothing really new there. Moving on, though, we have Meursault. He's got Spore, and basically it gain burn count for every stack, and then gain bind. So kind of nearly a similar setup to Hoffenheim Gregor, in a way, I guess. And then Pheromone is his main thing, which gives him Protection, Haste, and Clash Power Up, depending on the stack. And then he has 2 ammo types, which, depending on certain conditions, he can actually convert his base ammo into buckshot ammo, as we'll see later with his skills. Because his passive and skills are actually on one page, while this is his main mechanic here. And then he also has a reload here, and then it'll gain them back up to max stacks. I'm not sure how much of this he'll get, because with LCA Otis, I'm just using her as an example, she has 5 reloads, so I'm not sure how much these 2 IDs will get. We will have to wait and see. And then we have his passives here, which obviously we know he gets the base ammo and then buckshot ammo. Inflicts spores. And obviously, just like with Arccorp Heathcliff, if he doesn't have ammo, some attacks won't work. But then he'll also go ahead and reload it. And then, if the targets with Spore are killed, he'll gain loyalty pheromones, which is basically his main mechanic. Then we have his Spore Diffusion passive, which multiplies the Spore by somewhat if the targets with Spore get killed, it seems. And then on kill with the base attack skill, it goes ahead and gives them some Spore rounds, which I'm assuming that's base. And then basically his Spore passive is basically for piercing stuff, and then ally will heal some HP. And then if all of the skill slots are pierce skills, then it'll also heal some SP. So definitely a very nice support passive to have. And then we have Spore Germination, which goes ahead and does reload. Gain coin power for every burn plus bleed on the attacker, heal HP on self. And then, like I said, the pheromone thing gives it more HP. So moving on, we have his 3 skills here. We have skill 1, which goes ahead and gives him some infliction with burn and bleed. And then, as usual, it's probably going to be max. Some coin count is going to be 15. And we have buckshot, which makes him use the buckshot. And then this is also an AoE skill, it seems, or it might have like the same targeting thing. Depending on the loyalty pheromones he has, he'll go with his skill 2 and skill 3. He'll go ahead and convert them to unbreakable coins. So would be very nice to have that. And then if he has a few of the base rounds, then he'll go ahead and activate the reload. And then field test to Dust Spark, which is a skill 3. It'll go ahead and it's an AoE skill, so as you can see, it access attack way to beyond the actual targets. If he does have some spore rounds, he'll go ahead and consume SP to gain spore rounds, similar to Ryoshu in a way, and then gain obviously coin power, and then obviously converts it to unbreakable coins. The first coin hits a single target, second coin hits a single target, third coin hits a single target, and then the fourth coin hits is an AoE one. And then burn, bleed, bleed. Then the fourth coin will go ahead and also activate the Wrath damage if it doesn't crack. And as activating burn. And then the target will lose some burn count, and then the spore on the target expires and inflicts burn count and bleed count. Now, next up, we have Sinclair's E.G.O, which is Harmony. It's bleed and burn, similar to Meursault. Rhythm is the main thing. Essentially, it pretty much just it heals HP and SP. It also depends on the burn and bleed though. Um, this does this also takes some HP away from Sinclair, and with Rhythm, deals more damage for the stack, offense level, and loses defense level, and then it'll lose the effect when the turn expires. Inflict bleed, burn, burn bleed, and then it gains splash power for every burn bleed on target. Its main thing is to heal SP to other allies. And then his corrosion will target it randomly, of course. Really, it's the same as this one, but the main thing is that all allies gain rhythm, and either wrath damage up, lust damage up, envy damage up, and fragile. It depends. And if the target was killed, it'll activate these effects once more. So, all in all, I do think that this kit is going to be interesting. It seems like a lot of like HP taking away for this Walpurgis Knight. Well, except for Meursault, but with the Sinclair E.G.O and Ryoshu, that's what it definitely does seem like to me. But other than that, as for what I'm thinking with their fatality, it's probably going to be blunt, because blunt has always been the most like common weakness, or the most common fatality with these units. Except for the fact that you know season 7 has always been season 7 itself has been mostly Pierce. So, but these guys are going to be Pierce resistant, and if it's anything to go by with Hoffenheim Gregor, it's probably going to be Pierce like very resistant, but blunt is their fatality. And so yeah, that's going to do it for me. Let me know your thoughts about these kits down below, and make sure to like and subscribe as it helps out the channel a lot. And until then, I will see you guys later. So you.